Hey everybody, Pinstripe here. What is going on with you guys? Today I'm going to be playing as the head shooty hog known as the Scout, which has always been kind of weird because in single player, the Scout doesn't have a sniper rifle, but in multiplayer, he does. I don't know, strange name choice aside, I'm going to be trying to talk today about sniping consistently within Hogs of War. Now I emphasize the word trying to because like most things in this game, you can be an absolute god with certain weapons one day and then the next just everything goes out the window and suddenly you can't hit anything. The one major benefit of sniping in a game like Hogs is that regardless of whether you hit a headshot or a body shot, the outcome is always going to be the same. The damage numbers do not change, not to mention that this is a turn-based game, which I know is pretty obvious, so you don't have to worry about your opponent sniping at you at exactly the same time. Turn-based shooters are pretty chill when it comes to sniping in comparison to, say, a first-person shooter, and in Hogs of War you have plenty of time to think. Unless, of course, you haven't set yourself up correctly beforehand. The setup phase before you actually shoot the sniper rifle is perhaps the most important, given that this is the time where you have to be thinking about two things. The first is what is your current position, and the second is do you have a sightline on the enemy. Of course, this is going to differ depending on what map you're playing on, but those two things should always be on your mind as a sniper. Your position is very important because ultimately, you don't want to be standing out in the open completely exposed. Don't forget that the Espionage class is the only one in the entire game that is hidden on the minimap, so using that to your advantage by hiding your pig behind cover or in amongst foliage is going to be much better for you in the long run. You may be hidden on the minimap, but your opponent can still physically see you if you happen to be standing in a dumb place. Alright Pin, so we get the point. How do you maintain consistency when it comes to sniping in Hogs? And to that I say, you need to learn the limitations of the sniper rifle's aiming system. Okay, so what does that exactly mean? Well, you know how when you're using a standard rifle, tranquilizer or rifle burst, and you can quite comfortably aim up and down with a relative degree of speed? Yeah, your sniper rifle doesn't exactly do that. As soon as you scope in and try to aim around, that movement is going to feel very heavy and slow. So to combat this, what I normally do is preemptively press R1 or R2 to angle my rifle up or down towards my target before scoping in to save myself time when aiming. If you can get the rifle pointing roughly in the direction of your target beforehand, you will save yourself a lot of time, especially on enemies that are positioned much closer to you. It honestly may not sound like much, but getting into the habit of doing this will really help to get your shots away faster, especially when you're running low on time. Plus it translates well into using other rifle-based weapons and can really help your muscle memory when you need to perform some kind of no-scope. Now the less time you stay scoped in for as a sniper, the better. As many of you probably already know, the longer you remain scoped in for, the more erratic the camera movement gets, which in turn makes it harder to snipe accurately. Much like I've mentioned before in previous videos for the heavy weapons pig, Bridge the Gap is perhaps the best map for practicing sniping at long range. I'd also recommend the likes of the Lake, Square Off and Canyon, given how they offer up several different spots for hiding. Also, going back to the topic of positioning for a second, you want to be using any kind of cover to obscure your pig as much as possible, while also still being able to get your shot away within that position. You want to be making your pig a tough target to hit, especially if your opponent is trying to counter you in the same way. When it comes to aiming as a sniper, you want to be looking to hit the fattest part of the pig, so trying to get the crosshair as central to the pig as you can. We've seen from the competitive Hogs of War League that some pig hitboxes can be funky things, especially when it comes to sniping, as our old friend Iron Fox found out back in Season 1.
If Iron Fox hits it, you turn it around.
Yeah.
Oh my god, can you feel the pressure in the air right now?
I can.
He's aiming a second time.
Iron Fox is glaciing.
Oh! I think that's it.
Cold. And
No!
he misses!
What?
What?
How
We thought it was a
miss?
hit! What? But Pin still needs to get this.
Oh my god.
How is that even possible? We were sure it would hit.
I don't know. For me it was a clear hit as well.
My god. Can Pil end this now?
Oh, that could be...
He
Oh
got
no,
it.
it wasn't God. He got it. Oh my god, that
Oh
was
my
close.
god, what a start, everybody.
Oh, that was a good game one.
Oh my god.
Like I said earlier, headshots don't count for anything in Hogs other than street cred, so always aim for the torso of the target. You're essentially fighting against the camera when you're scoped in, so you're constantly going to be tapping on the D-pad to correctly line up your shot. You also need to take into account the distance. It's worth noting here that the sniper rifle bullets actually do have a drop-off point, so that's the point where the bullet starts to fall. Contrary to popular belief, there are multiple maps in Hogs where a sniper rifle bullet cannot reach you, but this is usually when you're attempting to shoot from one corner of the map to the other. In pro competitive play, the game timer is set to 30 seconds, which may not seem like much, but if you've aced your sniping position, you want to be using every second available to make sure your shot is lined up properly. Attempting to rush a shot is a surefire way to miss every time, as speed is not essentially part of sniping here. Sure, you need to understand when you need to hurry the hell up in certain situations, but if you aren't so confident with the sniper rifle, you need to be giving yourself at least 10 seconds to aim and shoot. If you're still feeling unsure about the shot but you have it lined up roughly in the right area, then one thing you can do is scope in and out, scoping in for roughly 2 to 3 seconds at a time to ensure that you are fully lined up before you actually commit to the shot. The mechanics of sniping in Hogs aren't any different to any other game. If anything, it holds more benefits, given how you don't have to deal with someone else frantically shooting at you at the same time. Just like everything we've talked about before with mortars, shrapnels and artilleries, practice makes perfect, and being able to snipe consistently in Hogs is no different. Remaining consistent with any type of weapon in Hogs of War is tricky, especially when you consider the ever-changing competitive landscape we have going on in the League and the Grunt League too. Still, that's all I've got for you today. As always, I want to know from you guys the tips and tricks that you use for sniping. Do you think there's any details that I've missed out? Let me know everything you have to say in the comments below. And in the meantime, I will catch you guys later for the next one. Peace out, everybody.
What the fuck was that?
You